Let me propose a question. Have you ever walked into a supplement shop looking for a reasonably priced pre-workout and you were met with prices that just made zero sense no matter how much you looked at them? Or have you bought said pre-workout just to be met with severe crash, jitters, and the overall sense that you just did a bump of Colombian marching powder? Well, then you're not alone. And these are all common issues with today's pre-workouts that can be addressed in this video when I go over the benefits and potential drawbacks of using coffee as a pre-workout. My name is Alex and I'm a health and exercise science major at Colorado State University, and I have zero credentials to my name, and you probably shouldn't be listening to me for any kind of advice. However, if you do give me a chance, you'll see I did some research on this one, and I actually do somewhat know what I'm talking about a little. But before we get into the benefits of using coffee as a pre-workout, I need to go on a bit of a smear campaign of typical pre-workouts right now. Let's just say I have a little bit to say on the subject. The first major issue being pricing. Pre-workout is so expensive, especially when you're looking for highly loaded pre-workouts that are actual efficacious dosages of what you're looking for. For example, one of the most popular pre-workouts on the planet, which you can find anywhere, being Rise, costs $40 online for a 30 serving tub, which comes out to roughly $1.33 per serving. However, that's before tax and before shipping, which can raise that price even more. Now that's for a fairly basic pre-workout. So when you start to look at fully loaded pre's, that's when you're going to start seeing very high prices for what you're getting. For example, the pre-workout I feel that is best dosed on the market, and you've probably seen loads of ads for them on the internet, is First Form, which is $55 for a 20 serving tub. This comes out to roughly $2.75 per serving. And again, that's before tax and before shipping. For someone like me, is an unsustainable amount of money for the amount of money that I make as a day-to-day doing lifeguarding on top of being a student. So these prices are a bit expensive, to say the least, and I will admit there are pre-workouts on the cheaper that offer more basic ingredients for a lower price. I know that Raw Nutrition has an entry-level pre-workout that's lower priced, and if you're just looking for like some caffeine and some L-citrulline, some beta-alanine to get the booty tingles, then there are pre-workouts that'll do that. However, some of them are underdosed, but also overpriced. Exhibit A, full send pre-workout. You have underdosed servings of beta-alanine, beta-9 anhydrous, and taurine. Essentially everything in this pre-workout is underdosed by around like 500 milligrams, except for the caffeine. So it's pretty much just a glorified energy drink at the end of the day. And it boasts all this stuff about giving you a better pump and better focus and stuff. And meanwhile, all that is just complete fucking nonsense. So pre-workouts can be too expensive. So why don't you just not take pre-workout in general and just raw dog all of your lifts? Well, I had that genius idea myself, but I quickly ran into some issues because after the first month, I quickly experienced a major drop in performance along with lethargy, a lack of focus, and everything else in my actual workouts. And you can point to that and be like, oh, it's just your diet sucks, dude. And maybe it did, but at the same time, no matter how many carbs I'd have before a workout and how optimal I try to go into a workout, it still wouldn't match the same feeling as when I was doing actual pre-workout. And piggybacking on top of that is that if I went into a workout with no food in me, like let's say I was in a pinch and I just needed to squeeze in a workout and I didn't have any food in my system, I was essentially fucked, and I was guaranteed to have a very shitty lift that was very tiring. And after like the second set of any workout, I just couldn't have any more in the tank and I just couldn't go any further. And that's such a stark contrast from actual pre-workout where you can go into the gym without having eaten anything for like the past day, and all the nootropics and the stim and everything will just carry you through the rest of your workout and allow you to have a good workout regardless of what's in your system. There's also the really surface level issue of the vasodilation was ass and the pump was ass. You didn't have any of the glycerol or the beta-9 anhydrous or the L-citrulline to give you that good vasodilation or to give you like a crazy pump. So all the lifts were just like overall less fun when I wasn't taking any form of a pre-workout. These two issues combined, whether it is not taking pre-workout in general or pre-workout being too expensive, made me personally turn to coffee. And it's why I think coffee is a good alternative if you're looking for a pre-workout that's going to be extremely cheap. And now you may be saying like, Alex, why don't you just use caffeine capsules? Caffeine capsules will do the same thing. I think Sam Sulek put it best in his most recent video, is that having something to actually drink during your workout and having like an actual routine pre-workout feels a lot better than just popping a caffeine capsule. I know it's just a placebo thing, but at the end of the day, having something actual to drink feels good.
I mean, if all I want is the caffeine, I can just grab a caffeine capsule out of like the vitamin cabinet. But sometimes it's kind of nice to drink something like that. It sort of gets me extra excited about the cardio.
So let's go downstairs to my coffee maker so I could talk about the benefits of getting your energy the true American old-fashioned way, off the backs of third world country workers who get paid pennies to the dollar. And then after that, let's take said coffee and go hit a fucking workout, get a good pump in, and get huge. Alrighty, so right here I got my French press coffee maker. I'm gonna make a little bit of coffee as a pre-workout here before I go lift. I got a leg day, so it's actually gonna have to carry me a lot here. And yeah, while this water's boiling over here, I'll tell you about the benefits of using coffee as a pre-workout. First off, we have the most obvious pro, which is the caffeine. And this goes for all stem pre-workouts with caffeine because there is just so many benefits of using caffeine in a pre-workout. Looking at this review on the influence of caffeine supplementation on resistance exercise, it says that, quote, based on current evidence, it seems that coffee increases both maximal strength and muscular endurance. The abstract here goes on to say that it is contributed in part due to a reduction in the rating of perceived exertion, or RPE. You know, that arbitrary measuring system that strength power lifters use to kind of see how many reps they have reserved in the tank, even though, in my opinion, you can't actually tell how many reps you really have left. A little pro tip, guys, when you're boiling water, don't pour it on your thumb. Going back to the reduction in perceived exertion, caffeine has this reduction due to a couple of mechanisms. One of these is caffeine acting as an antagonist for the adenosine receptors. This has effects on sleep, cognition, learning, and memory, which can explain why your brain may function better on caffeine, like when you need to crush a white monster before studying for finals. Caffeine also has effects on promoting the release of calcium from intercellular stores, which is crucial for muscle contraction and is actually the key ingredient for allowing the actin and myosin bonding in actual muscle contraction. There's also the effect of interfering with the GABA A receptors, which is crucial for sleep. However, the increase in noradrenaline due to caffeine is the main reason why you feel such jitters from an energy modification standpoint. So caffeine is the main reason why you use coffee as a pre-workout, aka pretty much the only reason why you would use coffee as a pre-workout. But the reason I choose it over actual pre-workout is the price. A single cup of coffee right here, when made by a French press, which is what I have, cost me only 20 cents. This is about $1.10 a serving, less than the entry-level pre-workout that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and it is much less than the first form pre-workout that I also mentioned. But, you know, there is also the issue of coffee only having caffeine. Coffee doesn't have the nootropics and the pump products and the vasodilators that other pre-workouts are going to have that are going to give you that even extra level of a step up over coffee. But the reason that I choose it over something like those other things is that cost that I just mentioned. And another reason you may see a potential benefit in coffee as a pre-workout is if normal pre-workouts are too strong for you. Some people can't handle the whole life of having a bunch of L-citrulline and a bunch of beta-alanine and all this other shit, and it makes them feel too jittery. And even the actual non-stim pre-workouts can still feel like too much to some people. So then coffee would be a good alternative because it's more mild and it just has that caffeine. So while coffee doesn't have the benefits of alpha GCP, L-citrulline, glycerol, beta-9 anhydrous, there is still the benefit of having caffeine. And at the end of the day, if you want those things, then just take pre-workout. There's no issue with that. If you can afford it, then I would recommend you take it. It'll definitely give you that extra leg up. But some people don't even consider coffee as a pre-workout supplement, and it's why I'm bringing it to an attention. And at the end of the day, I would still take this over a cup of that Milk Boys full set of pre-workout. But now that I have this done, it's done brewing because I yapped for long enough, we can make our cup and we can go hit a lift. See y'all at leg day.
It's actually the next day because I forgot to bring my camera to the workout yesterday. I'm still hitting legs though. It's just a hamstring focused leg day instead of a quad focused leg day. So essentially the same thing. I got my coffee right up here behind me. So we're gonna go through this hammy focused leg day. We also got some lat work at the end of it, and we'll see the effects that the coffee has. P.S. I've been lifting on coffee for like a month now, so I kind of know what to expect. It's gonna be a good workout, let's just say that. If you have hot coffee, you can't like chug it, so you're just stuck sipping it, so it just turns into a major pain in the ass. And you can't chug it like normal pre-workout, so there is that factor working against it. But it does taste good, so you got that at least. I guess I'll speak on the coffee because that's what this whole fucking video is on. I don't know. It feels like pretty much any other workout that I have on coffee, I guess. But to really describe it, it's just like you're on caffeine. You don't have like a crazy pump or anything. Like, it's not like I'm on glycerol or anything and like my fucking hamstrings are about to like squeeze out of my thighs. But I feel pretty good. I'm locked in for the most part. My energy is good. I'm not like tweaking or anything, but I can definitely notice that I have a heightened sense of alertness and definitely more focus as well. I'm able to get like sets in rapidly and it feels a lot better in that sense. So, just it's like you're on caffeine and you don't have any kind of like crazy amount of pump. Vasodilation isn't crazy, although I can't really tell right now because I'm not hitting any kind of like upper body shit, so I can't really tell if my pump is absurd, and I'm wearing pants, so I can't really tell if my like hamstring pump is crazy. Like, I could feel it and it's alright. And the biggest factor when you're on something like coffee is just drink enough water, because obviously it dehydrates you. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. Like any kind of pre-workout, you want to drink enough water so that the ingredients can actually have their effect, not only with the caffeine, but also if you're on actual pre-workout, having enough water with like glycerol or creatine is going to make the effects much, much more potent, and then also prevent you from dehydrating, which is pretty obvious as well. So yeah, I mean, I have a pretty good amount of water in me. It is the morning, so I'm not like fully hydrated or anything. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with this workout. That's all I have to really know about the coffee. And yeah. All right, so we finished with all the like shit that we need to do. I did the adductors and abductors off the camera because that doesn't even fucking matter. So now we're gonna do some lat work because my lats are really an area that I need a lot of focus on. So I put it in with my hammy focus leg day, just as like a little extra bonus. Get some extra lat stimulation in there. Hopefully grow those. And yeah, gonna start with some single arm high rows. The Jeff Nippard special, I guess you could say. And then we're gonna move on to some pull downs, and then we'll figure something else out. Maybe we'll just do the two. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's just get into it. So I ended up just powering through the rest of the workout. It ended up being pretty good pump, as you could probably tell. I mean, overall, like towards the end, I definitely started to feel the effects of the caffeine wearing off, especially because it was a bit of a longer lift. Went like an hour and a half, which I mean for some people isn't crazy, but usually mine are just like an hour long. So get a little pump check and then give some final thoughts here. Into some better lighting.
All right, definitely a good pump here. So hit some cardio, and then I guess we'll do like a Sam Sulek style car talk on the way home. Get my final thoughts on using coffee here.
Alrighty. So, what are my final thoughts here? No Sam Sulek style car talk. Didn't really feel like doing it. It was snowy outside, and I didn't feel like I was capable of talking and driving at the same time because I'm not really a multitasker. But, it's the morning of the next day. And what are my thoughts here? I think that coffee is a good, cheap option for people that may be struggling financially, or they're just looking for like a good daily driver pre-workout that can get them through most lifts, and they're not looking for anything too crazy that's like a fully loaded pre-workout. However, if you are someone that likes like a good pump, a good vasodilation, crazy focus, and all that stuff, and you want to maximize your workouts to like the highest possible limit, then take a normal pre-workout. Coffee is probably not for you. It's probably going to be a little too weak. But like I said, for someone like me, it works perfectly. And yeah, that's probably going to round out this video here. Thank you for watching to this point. I doubt many of you did. If you did, thank you so much. Subscribe, please. Like, please. And yeah, if you got any future video suggestions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.